Heavy fighting continued on the northern and southern flanks of Bakhmut, with the Ukrainians facing intense enemy mines and fire. The hotly contested city in eastern Ukraine has borne the brunt of some of the war's deadliest fighting. Russian troops in Bakhmut have been half-encircled as the Ukrainians create conditions to retake the town, Colonel General Oleksandr Syrsky told the BBC on 20 July. Currently, the deployment of Russian troops resembles an arch, concentrated in Bakhmut, and they are under half siege. Well, it's impossible not to take advantage of that, the commander of the Ukrainian forces in the east said in an interview. Russian troops have also been forced back from the village of Orikhovo-Vasilivka in Donetsk. Both Ukraine and Russia have also made limited progress in the western part of the annexed southern Zaporizhia region. Video footage shows gunners from the 77th Separate Airborne Brigade of the Airborne Assault Troop of the Armed Forces of Ukraine near Bakhmut, destroying an enemy tank and badly damaging an occupying Russian armored evacuation vehicle. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine announced this on its Facebook page, publishing the relevant video recorded by an unmanned aerial vehicle, whose operator finds a fat target and adjusts the gun's firearm. It seems that the tank was knocked out earlier. Therefore, the BRM drove up to him to take him. But our defenders noticed the situation and at that moment fired again from guns. There was a direct hit on the tank which at first caught fire, and later it was shown that the turret was torn off and the shell itself exploded. In another video, soldiers of the Ukrainian Armed Forces from the Karpatska Sich unit went over the Russian invaders' powerful 152mm self-propelled artillery installation, Hyacinth-S. This was announced by the Telegram channel Operative Donbas, publishing the video in which our defenders are already operating formidable equipment. He also said that the guns of the 54th Separate Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, named after Hetman Ivan Mazepa in the Bakhmut direction, destroyed the enemy's more powerful weapon, the 240mm self-propelled mortar 2S4 Tulip. The related video was recorded by the unmanned aerial vehicle of the 3rd Battalion of the Rubish Rapid Response Brigade of the Ukrainian National Guard. The operator detects a fat target, adjusts its classic artillery fire, and records the result of a direct hit. In the first 18 hours of July 19, the airborne forces of the Defense Forces carried out 5 raids on the concentration of manpower and military equipment of the Russian occupiers. Among other things, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported this in an evening summary published on the official page of the social network Facebook. In turn, the Telegram channel Donbas Operative reported that our defenders destroyed the headquarters of the invaders in Soledar with American high-precision JDAM aerial bombs launched by airplanes. TG released a video recorded by the unmanned aerial vehicle, whose operator found a fat target, transmitted precise geodetic coordinates to the aviator, and recorded the result of the launch, a direct hit that completely destroyed the house with intervention. Meanwhile, a video has emerged purporting to show mercenary chief Yevgeny Prigozhin addressing his fighters in Belarus and calling Russia's war effort in Ukraine a disgrace, in the Russian warlord's first footage to appear since his uprising last month. Vladimir Putin last week claimed Prigozhin had rejected an offer for him to step down as head of Wagner and allow his mercenaries to continue fighting in Ukraine. By contrast, about 10,000 Wagner Group mercenaries are already in, or on their way to Belarus, according to the Telegram channel linked to the group. The Prigozhin uprising, which posed the most serious threat to President Vladimir Putin's 23-year rule, is seen by the mercenary chief as aiming to overthrow Russian military leaders whom he accuses of incompetence. Prigozhin's criticism of the conduct of the fighting in Ukraine was repeated in the new video, the authenticity of which could not be immediately verified. "What happened at the front today is a shame in which we should have no part," he said, adding that Wagner troops could return to Ukraine in the future. The Belarusian Defense Ministry last week published a video it claimed showed the Wagner paramilitary training local defense forces in tactics. Prigozhin also said Wagner's mercenaries would train on site in Belarus and would forge a new route to Africa. The Kremlin said it would seek to keep the paramilitaries in Africa, where their work brings diplomatic benefits and is also seen as highly lucrative, with Wagner receiving land and mining concessions in payment for protection and fighting from cash-poor governments. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported on July 20 that Russia had lost 240,010 soldiers in Ukraine since the start of the full-scale invasion on February 24 last year. This number includes the 530 casualties suffered by Russian forces over the past few days. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said recent Russian attacks on southern Ukraine included Odessa, where a port terminal storing Ukrainian agricultural products for export is located. Zelensky said the port terminal, which suffered the most damage from the previous night's attack, contained 60,000 tons of agricultural products that were supposed to be sent to China. He reiterated the need for sanctions against Russia, saying everyone is affected by this Russian terror. Russia launched 38 airstrikes over southern Ukraine overnight through early Thursday, including nearly 24 cruise missiles and combined kamikaze drones, according to a statement from the Ukrainian Air Force. Russian troops attacked ports, wharves, residential buildings and retail chains in the southern cities of Odessa and Mykolaiv. Ukraine's air defenses destroyed 18 projectiles, it said, including 13 Shade drones, 2 sea-launched Kalibr cruise missiles, and 3 Iskander-K land-based cruise missiles, according to the statement.